Listen, thank you all for coming out. It is an honor for me to get to work today. While a lot of Americans are taking off and having picnics and being with their family, and they're at cemeteries all across this country honoring really great Americans who gave everything so that we could be here today participating in this great experiment of democracy in America. So, and I want to take just a moment away from our politics, if you will, and acknowledge the passing of a giant Texan in the political world and the business world, for that matter. Governor Clements was a real mentor to me. Right there on that desk, he signed some legislation back in 1987. I think it was my first piece of legislation that he signed for me, and he was a great mentor. He was a real friend, and not just to me, but a lot of Texans, a lot of you that are in this room today. He played a major role in shaping the current direction of politics in Texas. He was a veteran, and I guess appropriately so to mention his passing today on Memorial Day. He was a Texan who served his state well in World War II and served his country. And that was just the beginning of a life of service for him, service to his country, his state. The thoughts and prayers of all Texans are with Rita and the Clements family as they deal with the passing of a true Texas legend. Joan, we started this legislative session with a simple goal, and that was to balance our budget, to not jeopardize the job-friendly business climate that we've created in this state, to continue to foster that environment that has been created in Texas over the last decade. Getting there has at times been anything but simple, and we still got some work to do. There are still some hours in front of us that can be productive. When the dust settles, we'll have a no new taxes balanced budget. You can bet on that. And we'll be keeping appropriate dollars stored away for any additional emergencies that might face this state in the form of natural disasters over the next couple of years. You know, along the way, we took every opportunity to improve the economic climate of a state that's already leading the nation in job creation. More than 250,000 jobs were created from January 2010 to January 2011, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. The next closest state added fewer than 100,000 jobs. Fact is, in today's fast-moving global competition for employers and good jobs, even if you're leading the pack, you better be focused on finding new ways to improve, or somebody's going to catch up to you. According to my friend Rick Scott over in Florida, he's going to not just catch up, he's going to pass us. It's that type of competition that keeps us on our game. Over the last decade, we have taken some major steps to reform our legal system in this state, but there was still plenty of room to improve it. That's why I declared the need for adding a loser pays component to our courts, an emergency item. And thanks to the leadership of legislators like Representative Creighton and Senator Huffman, hard work of a lot of members of the legislature who are here today. I know I want to specifically point out Connie Scott. Connie was working on this issue long before she became a member of the legislature. Paul Workman, Kenneth Sheets, and Mike Gallagher. I want to say thank you to a fellow. We don't always agree on all the issues, but there's not a more honorable advocate than Mike Gallagher. And I want to say thank you for sitting at the table in an honest and straightforward way representing the legal community.
Thank you.
House Bill, and Senator Duncan, I want to make sure I point out Senator Duncan. He's over in the Senate right now. He would be here with us, but he's trying to find that 4/5 vote to continue to finish this legislative session on time. And he was an integral part of this piece of legislation being finalized. You know, House Bill 274, it provides defendants and judges with a variety of tools that'll cut down on frivolous claims in Texas and expedite justice for those deserving it. Texas judges will have the ability to dismiss a frivolous lawsuit immediately if there's no basis for the suit, just as is in 42 other states. Prevailing party able to recover their attorney's fees from their opponent. Also, trial judges who think a question of law can end the case can now ask an appeals court to decide the matter, eliminating the need to play this case out in its entirety, some costly trial before that question is decided by a higher court. House Bill 274 also creates an expedited civil actions for cases involving less than $100,000. It'll cut down on court time and cost in those smaller cases. It encourages timely settlements by penalizing partners who turn down a fair settlement offer in search of that home run at trial. So thanks to these important new reforms, Texas employers will spend less time in court, more time creating jobs. They'll invest more of their resources in expansion and growth instead of wasting them on extended, frivolous lawsuits. It's a step that will make Texas that much more attractive to employers seeking to expand or relocate from countries all around the world. And I want to again say thanks to each of you, all of the people who are here representing different associations and the work that they did to move this process forward. This is an important day for Texas. It promises many more great things for the future of this state. And now I'd like to bring up the author of House Bill 274, that is Representative Creighton.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We all know that financial resources for families and businesses in Texas mean everything in a challenging economy. House Bill 274 signifies a major landmark in tort reform in Texas, and thanks to the provisions of the bill, our state now has the means to dispatch lawsuits that should never have been filed and to shorten the expensive discovery process. I'm more than pleased with the outcome and positive this bill will make litigation in Texas fair, expedient, and affordable, helping to create jobs and making plaintiffs whole and protecting defendants from sometimes meritless cases. Governor Perry's leadership and Senator Huffman's direction in the Senate meant everything in this effort. I want to also thank Representative Sheets, Representative Aliseda, Chairman Jim Jackson, Judge Tryon Lewis, Representative Lewis, and my Chief of Staff, Jenny Sellers, for all of their hard work. Texas tort reform policy improved today with 274 is critical because it makes our state more attractive for business and industry, which we all know and recognize creates jobs in this state. That means increased revenues for our families that call Texas home, and working with such a fine and distinguished group of people here was truly one of the highlights of my tenure in the legislature, and an honor and a privilege for me to be involved in the process. Senator Huffman, again, thank you for everything you've done in working with me and in your efforts in the Senate, and Governor, yours as well. So with that, I'll close. Thank you.
Brandon, thank you. And with those words, let's ask the senator that you pointed out to come up and give her brief remarks.
Thank you. Thank you, Governor. I'm honored to be here today as the governor signs HB 274 into law. This legislation, I believe, will have a real impact on making our civil justice system more efficient, and accessible to all Texans. You know, critics and naysayers have said a bill which passes unanimously out of that Senate over there can't be a very good bill. But I disagree with that, because I think if we look back at major tort reform that has passed, if we look at House B 4, which was the Med-Mal reform, or Senate Bill 15, which was asbestos reform, they all either passed unanimously or with very high majorities. And I think that what those have in common, when you think about it, is they all pass through the legislature with the help of strong leadership. And Governor Perry, you have made a real difference in improving the state of civil justice in Texas, and by doing so, you have improved the business climate, you brought more doctors to Texas, and you provided for a fair system for all Texans. So your strong leadership and commitment to these issues have made it possible for these important reforms to become a reality. So thank you, Governor Perry.
Let's go sign this bill.
All right.
Come on over. Gallagher? Thank you. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Jimmy Lee. Yes, sir. All right, next on.